Ever found yourself panicking halfway through a U-turn, wrestling an 800-pound beast and praying you won't topple over? You're not alone. Today, we'll tackle 5 common mistakes every rider makes in a U-turn and reveal one secret most folks overlook. Stick around because fixing these will level up your riding fast. Number 5. Using the front brake. One of the biggest pitfalls riders face is grabbing the front brake during a low-speed U-turn. It's natural, you feel the bike tipping, so you instinctively reach for the strongest brake you've got. But here's the problem. Modern motorcycles often boast dual-disc setups in the front, offering tremendous stopping power. At crawling speeds, even a gentle squeeze can abruptly shift weight forward, causing the bike to nosedive. When your motorcycle's front end dives, momentum grinds to a halt. With no roll to keep you balanced, you're courting disaster. It only takes a fraction of a second for the front wheel to tuck in, especially with the bars turned, and suddenly the bike's on its side. Picture walking beside your machine on a smooth parking lot. If you turn the bars and dab that front brake, you'll immediately feel the bike tilt ominously. That's basically what's happening during a poorly timed front brake application in a U-turn. Keep your front brake for higher speed stops and use the rear brake for low speed control. The rear brake is easier to modulate and less likely to cause an abrupt shift in weight. Worst case, you might lock the rear wheel briefly, but you'll rarely tip over as a direct result. This technique allows you to maintain a steady, controlled forward roll through the turn, and helps keep the bike's chassis more stable. Practice dragging the rear brake slightly as you lean and turn, feeling how it steadies your arc without overbalancing the motorcycle. Number 4. Relying on your legs. It's tempting, especially for new riders on big machines, to hover your feet over the pavement, ready to catch the bike. On smaller commuter bikes or lightweight dual sports, you might get away with it, but on a 600 to 900 pound cruiser or adventure tourer, the moment you lose equilibrium, your legs can't reliably hold the bike up. Countless tip overs occur precisely because riders rely on a tactic that won't actually save them in time. A moving motorcycle, even at low speeds, has a self-stabilization geometry. The spinning wheels and the rake and trail of the front fork help keep the bike upright as long as there's some forward motion. Instead of frantically paddling the ground, focus on controlling that forward motion so the bike naturally supports itself. This is how large hefty bikes like the Harley-Davidson Ultra Classic or the Honda Goldwing manage to glide through parade routes without toppling. On a manual machine, throttle up just enough to hold a steady engine speed and feather the clutch in its friction zone. If you feel the bike begin to tip inward, ease out the clutch slightly to pick up a hair more speed. Instantly, the motorcycle will stand taller. If it's tipping outward, pull the clutch in a bit to reduce speed. This interplay between throttle, clutch, and brake is the hidden dance that keeps your machine stable. If you ride a DCT or an automatic, your approach changes slightly. Instead of feathering a clutch, you'll roll a bit of throttle while modulating your rear brake. More brake to slow, less brake to speed up. It effectively mimics the friction zone. This technique ensures your momentum stays consistent, allowing your bike to maintain balance without you flailing a foot. Number 3. Cheating with speed. Many riders claim they can do a perfect U-turn by charging a little quicker and leaning over. Granted, it looks cool when executed perfectly on a clean surface. You bank the bike aggressively, carve a tight arc, and rock it away. The trouble is, real roads are rarely picture perfect. Quick flicks and deep leans can become precarious on wet patches, gravel, or uneven pavement. All it takes is a bit of loose sand to sabotage that heroic lean attempt. If you rely on momentum and lean angle to power through every tight turn, you're effectively at the mercy of your surface. Encounter a patch of oil or an unexpected pothole mid-turn and you'll either slip out or get abruptly bumped upright, losing your line. Slow speed mastery, on the other hand, relies on precise input, clutch or rear brake modulation that keeps you flexible. You can correct your path, stand the bike up, or even stop entirely if you need to. When you lean aggressively, you reduce your margin for error. Say you spot a hazard or a pedestrian you didn't notice initially. Attempting a sudden correction or stop while leaned over at speed can cause a low-side crash. That's a surefire way to end your day badly. By contrast, at a controlled low speed, you can straighten the bars or halt altogether, avoiding a close call. Don't let speed mask poor technique. Master slow maneuvers first. That control and confidence will serve you well in tight spaces, uncertain road conditions, and any scenario where a quick escape or sudden stop might be necessary. Number 2. Not using your head and eyes properly. Look where you want to go, say all the riding gurus. There's a reason for that. Your visual input is your brain's GPS. Yet some folks mistakenly believe that simply turning your head magically leans the bike for you. Sorry, motorcycles aren't psychic. They don't sense your eye movement and automatically follow your gaze. When you aim your eyes toward the exit of the U-turn, you're feeding your brain the critical data it needs to make micro corrections to throttle, brake, and handlebar input. By keeping your head up and scanning the path, you can spot hazards, gauge the exact radius of your turn, and time your inputs more effectively. If you stare at your front wheel or the patch of ground right beneath it, you get tunnel vision. Lack of foresight leads to poor reaction time, often resulting in wide, shaky arcs or wobbly transitions. Imagine turning your head left while the bike's moving forward. That alone doesn't force the handlebars left. You still need to push the bars or shift your weight slightly. The power in looking through the turn is that it anticipates your next move, giving you mental clarity on where to steer, how much to lean, and when to adjust speed. The bike only goes where your hands and feet tell it to, but those commands come from what you see. Train yourself to look ahead and around the corner before you even initiate the turn. Pick a spot where you want the bike to end up and guide the handlebars intentionally. Combine that with the friction zone control you learned earlier, and you'll find your U-turn arcs become dramatically smoother. Number 1. Poor line planning. A common complaint is, my bike's too big, I can't make a tight turn on this road. In reality, you often have more real estate than you think. The key is positioning. If you simply dive into the turn without planning, you end up crowding yourself. By contrast, if you hug the outer edge of your lane or available pavement, you open up a much larger turning radius. Say you're riding down a narrow alley and need a sharp U-turn. Instead of aiming for the center, guide your front wheel close to the far curb or the edge. From that offset, begin your turn smoothly. You've created the widest possible semicircle, giving yourself ample space to complete the maneuver. This trick applies in parking lots, single-lane roads, and any other constricted environment. This goes hand in hand with looking through the turn. If your eyes are locked on the final point where you want to exit, you'll naturally set up a better line. With consistent practice, you won't even have to think about it. You'll just position yourself correctly, glance around to confirm the path is clear, and arc cleanly through the turn with minimal fuss. Secret: incorrect tire pressure. A secret that's not quite a skill mistake, but tire pressure can make or break your U-turn confidence. Underinflated tires, especially in the front, can hamper the bike's natural self-centering ability. This leads to a vague or wobbly feel when executing slow maneuvers, forcing you to muscle the bike more than necessary. According to published guidelines by manufacturers like Harley-Davidson and Honda, keeping tires at the recommended PSI improves handling and extends tire life. When your front tire is even slightly underinflated, the contact patch is larger and more resistant to changing direction. That heaviness can suddenly give way or tuck if you lean too far, making your bike's behavior unpredictable. For slow-speed maneuvers like U-turns, you want every advantage: predictable steering, stable traction, and a smoother roll. Carry a small portable air compressor or a trusty pressure gauge. Make it a habit to check your tires when cold, because pressures rise once you've been riding. Seasonal changes, altitude differences, or even a small puncture can alter PSI without obvious external signs. Keeping your tires dialed in ensures you can precisely manage tight turns and drastically reduce the risk of a nasty surprise mid-maneuver. Each of these 6 mistakes, overusing the front brake, trying to catch the bike with your legs, cheating with speed, neglecting head and eye input, failing to plan your line, and forgetting to check tire pressure, can rob you of the confidence and control you need for tight U-turns. Jokes aside, mastering them isn't just for show, it's about safety and skill on every road you ride. Hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon for more riding tips. Explore my beginner course, advanced course, or dive into King of the Road to truly elevate your craft. Ride safe, ride smart, and see you in the next one.